Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Rachel, aka the Nail Therapist, and I specialize in restorative nail and foot care using all natural or non-toxic products. If you enjoy my videos and gain something from them, please consider subscribing and hit the bell for notification when I post my next video. Today's video features a client who has thickened nails and what she thought were ingrown toenails. So I will briefly take you through the difference between impacted and ingrown nails so that you can help decide the best course of action for you or your client or your loved one. I typically start my pedicures dry because I use the e-file and I find that it helps exfoliate the cuticle a lot better when it's dry and not after it's been soaking in water. So I just loosen the skin or push back the skin off of the cuticle to expose the cuticle, and then that way I can get the cuticle exfoliated a lot easier when I go back in with the e-file. So clearly the large toenails are the thickest, and that can happen for a bunch of different reasons. It doesn't appear that she had any specific injury to her nail. She doesn't have a history of her nails ripping off or anything like that. But micro trauma, aka wrong fitting shoes or something like that, where there's little tiny repetitive hits to the nail, can cause the nail to grow kind of on top of itself. It's a protective mechanism, sort of like how calluses form. So right away I could tell that I'm going to need to come in and do some thinning out of that large toenail. Shout out to Lori Holloway. I took her course. Thank you, Lori, and got this really awesome stainless steel file. I actually really do like it quite a bit, and I'm probably going to buy a few more. So here I come with the carbide bit. It's the medium grit carbide bit from Erica's ATA. I have it on the the forward setting, and I'm going from right to left across the top of the nail plate. Just very gentle sweeps, trying to take off a lot of the bulk. You can tell that there's a lot of deep ridging that have accumulated over the course of many years, and my goal here is to thin it at least 50%. Obviously checking in with the client to make sure that there's no heat building up underneath the bit, because carbide bits can create quite a bit of friction and heat. It did not for her. Her nail was so thick she barely felt it. But always be checking in with your client just to make sure. You don't want it to be an uncomfortable experience for them. When I see the nail that's really thick, I tend to grab the carbide bit over the diamond bit because I know it's going to do the job faster, and it doesn't cause any discomfort usually. So I'm starting to use this a lot more in my pedicures, especially when I see very thickened nails and ones that need a lot of debulking. It's a little difficult to see from this perspective, but all of her toenails were on the thicker side, which is why I felt comfortable using the carbide bit across the board. But I'm being very gentle. I'm barely touching the surface of the nail. I just want to get all those deep ridges down, and then I'm going to come back in with a different bit, that's a diamond bit, to clean the cuticles up further. So this is my new cone bit, also from Erica's ATA. I got the coarse and the medium grit, so today I'm using the coarse bit because, like I said, her nails are a little thicker. And so this is great because you can really get under sort of the hood of that skin to get the cuticles really deeply without damaging the nail. And it goes into the groove, the lateral grooves, really easily. I really like it for that reason. And then if I wanted to smooth out more on the nail plate itself, it just fits seamlessly across the top of the nail without digging any kind of groove into the nail. It's great. My only complaint about this bit is that it's harder to get the skin on the sides of the nail, kind of where you see me working on the sides, just because of the way that it's angled. But you can still do it. It's just a little bit more of a, challenge to get the right angle. Just want to apologize a little bit about the shadows. I got a new dust extractor, and it has a lamp on it, and it overpowers my ring light. So there's a little bit of a shadow being cast from the right side, but not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I'd rather have the dust being sucked up. I'm going over the surface of this nail again with the diamond bit to sort of smooth out further the ridging that is in the nail. It's getting to the point where it's a lot more smooth now, so I don't have to do too much more thinning. but I wanted to make sure that it was nice and smooth. I can tell right away there's something going on in the corner of this nail, the big nail. So when you put in the comments if you think it's impacted or if it's ingrown, let me know what you think. Here I'm getting just some of the obvious stragglers of the cuticles that I want to really snip off. But I'm going to come back after she's soaked and clear off some more of those. So never fear, it's not going to end up undone. If you're somebody who needs specialized foot care and you are in the Northern Virginia or surrounding areas of Northern Virginia, I hope that you consider coming to see me. I would love to see you in my studio. It's a private studio. It's just me. We're in a historic building downtown Leesburg, and it's very quiet for the most part, unless like an ambulance is going by. So I take my time to do it right and hope to give you the best results that you've had. And that way you don't have to necessarily see a podiatrist. We can get you started on the path to recovery without having to think about taking any kind of antifungal pills or removing toenails or anything like that. Sometimes you don't need those drastic things to be able to see results. Scheduling online is very simple. Just visit the website and click the schedule your appointment button, and it will walk you through the whole process. So on the inner side of both of her large toenails, the lateral groove that's on the medial side, it angles deeply. It makes like a sharp angle. So instead of just laying flat, it comes across flat and then it angles in and down. And so it creates this almost like a hood or a cave for debris to get caught up in there. So whenever I take my sidewall cleaner along the groove, I'm not catching anything. I'm not getting it caught on any spicule or any kind of nail piece that is digging into her skin. Instead, I'm finding a lot of buildup. So if you guessed her nails were impacted and not ingrown, you would be correct. I'm using the serrated sidewall rasp now because the serrated edge is gripping onto the underside of the nail where that ridge is that's cutting, not cutting, but like pushing into her skin. So I wanted to clear off as much of the nail as I could off of the nail bed to relieve the pressure and also reduce the amount of space that the nail debris and skin and all the stuff that gets caught up underneath there. Wanted to reduce the amount of space that it can actually get caught up in there. And by reducing that space, it relieves the pressure on the nail bed so that it doesn't hurt, which is why a lot of people think they have ingrown toenails, because there's a lot of pressure being put on the nail bed, especially at the corners of the nail, like right here. But it's just a buildup of a bunch of different cells of skin and nail and maybe some sock fuzz and things like that. So you can see right there, that hole is where all of the debris was collected. Okay, it's school time, so this is a nice illustration of what a nail spicule actually looks like. This is illustrating what an actual ingrown toenail is. The nail spicule is a piece of the side of the nail that does not get cut. So if you are a person who has been to a nail salon and they cut down the sides, but they didn't get all of it all the way to the side wall, a little piece of nail is going to grow forward into the skin, causing inflammation and swelling and sometimes infection. This is an example of somebody coming to me after they've had their sides cut out, and you can see where the arrow is pointing is the area that should be nail, but it's an empty space where somebody before me cut out the side of her nail. And here's just another illustration. This is not my work, but this is somebody else who had their side cut down. So please avoid anybody who says, let me cut the sides or let me cut the corners out, because they may not understand fully what they are doing, and it could lead to a lot more problems and pain in the future. So you might be saying, well, sure, that sounds great, Rachel, but it looks like you're cutting down the side right now. But I'm not. What I'm doing is getting the skin that is that I cleaned out from the underneath of the nail and trying to nip it and pull it out so that it's not causing pressure on the nail plate, and also just looks clean. I don't ever cut down the side of the nail unless it's completely detached. If it's completely detached already, I might try and nip off as much as I can, because generally speaking, that's going to be a great place for mold and fungus to grow. But for the most part, like 98% of the time, I never cut down the side wall of the nail, ever. Do you think we'll get even more debris off of this toe? Let's see what we got. Not too bad after all the original work, but definitely worth coming back in and doing a secondary scoop just to make sure all that's out of there. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I can tell you guys are the ones who are truly interested in this type of work. I'd love to know where you're from and what you do, and if there's anything that you're really craving to see as far as nail and foot care goes, because I'd love to create content that you would be interested in, not just for myself. So leave me a comment and let me know what's what. In my Revive pedicure, which is what this woman is receiving, I use a topical chemical exfoliant using the enzymes from different plants. It's actually a facial enzyme exfoliating peel spray from Juice Beauty, and it's 100% organic. And so what I do is, instead of using, a physical, topical like salt scrub or sugar scrub, I use the enzyme peel spray to sort of eat away all the remaining bits of dry skin, and then I use this organic mitt to do the physical exfoliation as well, and that makes the feet super smooth whenever I'm done. After exfoliation, I'll go back and do the foot and leg massage using the Renew Healing Balm on the bottom of the foot and the All Natural Body Butter on the leg. And here come the before and after pics. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.